Hello, AO Mill, Dan Mason here. Thank you for your question. How can I explain the traditional Christian understanding of Jesus as God to someone who believes he is a created being? So, let us begin. The heart of the question. The center of the Christian claim is simple. Christians believe Jesus is God because the New Testament treats him as someone who does what only God can do. The earliest Christians worshipped him. They prayed to him. They trusted him as Lord with the same trust they gave to the Father. When you speak with someone who believes Jesus is a created being, your goal is to show how the Bible speaks of him. Let them see the pattern. Let them know how the New Testament lifts him far above any created angel or prophet. Start with the name and identity. The Bible presents Jesus as having a place next to the Father in ways that do not fit a created being. For example, in John 1:1, the Word is with God, and the Word is God. The passage is simple. The Word shares God's nature and yet stands in a relationship with God. Then, in John 1:14, the Word becomes flesh. This is the heart of Christian belief. God took on flesh. Someone who says Jesus is created must explain why the Bible places him on the divine side of the line. Show what only God can do. Jesus forgives sins in Mark 2. The crowd reacts because only God can forgive. Yet Jesus speaks forgiveness with his own authority. That is not the voice of a created being. That is the voice of God acting in the world. Jesus calms the storm with a command. The disciples ask who he is because the wind and the sea obey him. In the Old Testament, only the Lord rules the seas. Jesus says in John 5 that the Father gives him the same power to give life and to judge all people. Giving life is the work of God. Final judgment belongs to God alone, yet Jesus claims it. Show how the first Christians treated him. The early church worshipped Jesus. They prayed to him in Acts 7. Paul blessed him as God in Romans 9. He was honored with the same glory as the Father in Philippians 2. If Jesus were created, this would be idolatry. Jews who followed Jesus would never worship a creature. Yet they worshipped him without hesitation. They saw his resurrection. They saw his glory. They called him Lord in the same way they used the name of the Lord in the Old Testament. Show how the Bible draws a clear line. In the Bible, there are two categories. God is in one. Everything created is in the other. The New Testament repeatedly places Jesus on God's side. John 1 says all things were made through him. If all things were made through him, then he cannot be part of the group of things that were made. He stands outside creation. That is the place of God. Colossians 1 says the same thing. All things in heaven and earth were created through him and for him. That includes every power and every throne. A created being cannot be the maker and goal of all. That belongs to God alone. Explain the Christian view once more. The Christian view is not that Jesus is a second God. The Christian view is not that he is a created super angel. The Christian view is that the one God revealed himself in the man Jesus Christ. The Word became flesh. God walked among us. God spoke in a human voice. God took on our nature and lived a whole human life. The Father and the Son are not two separate gods. There are two ways in which the one God acts and reveals himself. Keep the tone calm. Many people who believe Jesus was created come from sincere backgrounds. They are trying to honor God. They think they protect God's glory by lowering Jesus. You can show them that the New Testament presents Jesus as lifted up by God himself. God put his own name and works in the hands of Jesus. When they see that, the picture starts to change. End with a simple challenge. Ask them one question. Who is Jesus in the New Testament? Not who you want him to be. Not who your tradition says he is. Who does the Bible say he is? Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment to support this channel.